Hi students, this is Nishanti from Ponvityasham. This is your second chapter, Units and Measurement. The value of a physical quantity is generally expressed as a product of number and its unit. Right? The unit is simply a particular example of a quantity concerned which is used as a reference. For example, the speed v of a particle may be expressed as v is equal to 25 meter per second. Or 90, for example, 90 kilometer per hour, where meter per second and kilometer per hour are alternative units for expressing the same value of a quantity speed. Right? So we'll see such units and measurement unit in detail. We'll see the contents. Okay, so these are the contents in this video I'm going to discuss with you. We are going to see about measurement unit and standard, fundamental physical quantity or units, derived physical quantity and its units, system of units, definition of fundamental units, supplementary units, advantages of SI unit system, other important units of length. Okay, we'll see what is measurement, unit and standard. Measurement of a physical quantity is the comparison of the quantity with another quantity of same kind which is taken as a reference quantity. Okay, when we say that length of a room is 5 meters, it means that it is 5 times conventionally chosen unit of length meters. Therefore, measurement of the length of a room is just in comparison with another length. Hence, measurement of a physical quantity is just a comparison. Okay, and the next definition, unit of a physical quantity is defined as the reference standard of measurement of that quantity. Measurement involves comparison of the quantity to be measured with a reference standard quantity. This reference standard of measurement is what we call a unit. To determine the magnitude of a physical quantity completely, we should know the unit in which it is measured and the number of times that unit is contained in the quantity, that is numerical value. So this is combination of these two. Okay, while determining the magnitude of a physical quantity, we need these two, unit and the number of times the unit is contained in the quantity. Okay, and we'll see the next definition, standard. The actual physical embodiment of the unit of a physical quantity is known as standard of that physical quantity. To express any measurement made, we need the numerical value n, as I said before, numerical value n and the unit u. Measurement of a physical quantity is equal to numerical value into unit. For example, if you want to measure a length of a rod, say for example 8 meters, this 8 is numerical value and m is the unit of the length. Now we'll see about physical quantities. All those quantities which can be measured directly or indirectly and in terms of which the law of physics can be expressed are called physical quantities. Physical quantities can be further divided into two types. They are fundamental quantities and derived quantities. Let's see about fundamental quantities first. Those physical quantities which are independent of other physical quantities and are not defined in terms of other physical quantities are called fundamental units or quantities or basic quantities. Okay, and we'll see about derived quantities. See, these quantities which can be derived from the fundamental quantities. Okay, for example, velocity, acceleration, linear momentum, etc. See, for example, consider velocity. See, this is a derived quantity. Why? Because SI unit of this velocity is meter per second. For acceleration, meter per second squared. See, this is combination of meters and seconds, that is mass scale and time scale. Mass and time are the fundamental quantity. So this velocity is combination of mass and time. So these quantities are called derived quantities. Systems of unit. A system of unit is a set of units with particular basic units. Okay, so earlier three different unit systems were used in different countries. There are CGS, FPS and MKS. And nowadays, internationally, SI system of unit is followed. This SI unit system consists of 7 basic quantities. Okay, we'll see first what is CGS system. Okay, so CGS system means centimeter, gram and second. Centimeter, gram and second to express length, mass and time respectively. And second system is FPS system, that is foot, pound and second. So this is also used to express length, mass and time respectively. We'll see about the third system, MKS. So length is expressed in terms of meters, mass is expressed in terms of kilogram and time is expressed in terms of second. So this is also the same thing, length, mass and time respectively. Okay, and the last system, internationally accepted unit, SI unit. So this consists of 7 basic unit, length, mass, see from here, length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, amount of substance and luminous intensity. Okay, so these are expressed in meter, kilogram, second, ampere, Kelvin, mole and candela respectively. See, these 7 units are called basic SI unit. See, in SI system, there are 7 basic units and 2 supplementary units. Okay, so 7 basic or fundamental units are length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, amount of substance, luminous intensity. Okay, so these are the unit names. Length is measured in terms of meter, symbol is m. Mass is measured in kilogram, symbol kg. Time, second, s. Electric current, you know very well, ampere, symbol capital A. Thermodynamic temperature, Kelvin, capital K. Amount of substance, mole, symbol MOL. Luminous intensity, candela, symbol CD. See, these are the definition for the fundamental units. Okay. Okay. So, with the 7 basic unit, there are 2 more supplementary unit. They are radian and steradian. Okay. So, radian for plane angle and steradian for solid angle. We'll see what is radian. Okay, so it is the unit of plane angle. First point, it is the unit of plane angle. 1 radian is an angle subtended. 1 radian is the angle subtended at the center of the circle by an arc of length equal to the radius of circle. I repeat, 1 radian is an angle subtended at the center of a circle by an arc of length equal to the radius of the circle. Okay, so look at the diagram now. Imagine there is a circle over here and this is the center of the circle and this is your radius. Radius of the circle. Okay, so consider this arc. This arc length is similar to the length or radius of the circle. So arc length is equal to the radius of circle. Imagine this. Okay, so there is a small part from the circle, small arc from the circle. Okay, so this will also be a radius of the circle. Okay, so angle between these two arcs is d theta. So this is your what? Plane angle. So d theta equal to ds, a small surface we are considering from the circle. So ds divided by r, radius. So this is a formula to find plane angle. Okay, plane angle is measured in terms of a radian. So d theta is equal to ds divided by r radian. Okay, and we'll see what is steradian. It is the unit of solid angle. See, radian, plane angle is measured in two-dimensional image. In two-dimensional image, only in circles. Okay, whereas this steradian is the unit of solid angle for three-dimensional image. This is the difference. Okay, so this is a unit of solid angle. One steradian is the solid angle subtended at the center of a sphere by its surface, whose area is equal to the square of the radius of the sphere. Okay, fine. So consider a small area from the sphere. This is your small area from the sphere. And the angle between these two is called d omega. Whereas for plane angle denoted by d theta and for steradian solid angle denoted by d omega. Okay, so what is the formula? Area cut out from the surface of the sphere divided by radius square. So formula is d omega equal to dA. See, small area we are segregating from the sphere. Small area we are segregating from the sphere. Okay. So this area divided by r square, square of radius. Okay. So d omega equals, this is your formula. D omega is equal to dA divided by r square. Okay, now let's see what is the relationship between radian and degree. So consider there is a circle with radius r. Okay, so what I'm going to do is a small radius I'm going to push towards the circumference of the circle, and it is forming a two arc. So angle between this two arc is d theta, as we studied, as this angle is plane angle. So consider, okay, so if I extend this arcs further, how many arcs did you see? So watch carefully, right? So let's see this one more time. Okay, so we know what is the circumference of the circle. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. Okay, so how many arcs did you notice from the diagram? So number of arcs. You can see number of arcs for full rotation is 2 pi. For one full rotation, it takes 2 pi radians. Am I right? One full rotation, it takes 2 pi radians. So what is this 2 pi? We know one full rotation. So how many degrees in between? For one full rotation, we have 360 degrees. For one full rotation, we have 360 degrees. Am I right? Right. So if you equivalent these two values, that is 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees, right? For pi radian, so both the sides divided by 2, you will get 180 degrees. Similarly, for pi by 2 radians, again divided by 2, you will get 90 degrees. Okay, so what you understood from this relationship, So 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degree for full rotation. For pi radian equal to 180 degree, this is for straight line. And similarly, last pi by 2 radian, this is equal to 90 degree for right angle. Right. So we'll see what is 1 radian. Okay. So look at the animation carefully. So how many radians did you notice? 6 full arcs, 6 radians, and there was a small leftover part over here. So look at the diagram carefully. This is one full rotation. One arc. This is 2, 3, and we have a small leftover part here. This is nothing but 0.14. See, we know the value of pi, right? So what is the value of pi? Pi equal to 3.14. So now you people understood, right, how it came? So 3 full arcs plus 0.14 percentage of the circumference of circle, or 14% of the circumference of the circle. So this is how pi is equivalent to 3.14. And if you extend further, you will get fourth arc. This is first one, second, third, and this is fourth. You will get 5 here, 6, and approximately there will be a small leftover part here. So this is nothing but 0.28, or 28% of the circle is left over. So 2 pi is equal to 6.28. So that 0.28 is left over here. Okay. So let's see what is 1 radian. So 1 radian is equal to, so here divided by 2 pi on both the sides, you will get what is 1 radian. Okay. So 1 radian is equal to 360 degrees divided by 2 pi, or 180 divided by pi. So this is the relationship, important. 1 radian is equal to 180 divided by pi degree. Okay. Now let's see what are the advantages of SI unit system. It is internationally accepted. It is rational unit system. It is a coherent unit system. It is a metric system, and it is closely related to CGS and MKS systems of unit. And it uses decimal system, hence it is more user friendly. See, these are the advantages of SI unit system. Okay, other important units of length. See, we know very well, to measure a length, we have a unit meter. For large distance, we have kilometer. Okay, so for example, distance of planets and stars, how we will measure? So in such cases, we need a bigger unit of length, such as astronomical unit, light year, parsec, etc. Okay, we'll see what is astronomical unit. The average separation between the Earth and the Sun is called 1 astronomical unit. I repeat, the average separation between the Earth and the Sun is called 1 astronomical unit. 1 astronomical unit is equal to 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meters. Very important. So this is a constant value. Study properly. You will use this value in numericals. 1 astronomical unit equal to 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meters. And similarly, light year. The distance traveled by the light in vacuum in 1 year is called light year. The distance traveled by light in vacuum in 1 year is called light year. 1 light year equal to 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meters. And The distance at which an arc of length of one astronomical unit subtends an angle of 1 second at a point is called parsec. I repeat, the distance at which an arc of length of one astronomical unit subtends an angle of 1 second at a point is called parsec. 1 parsec equal to 3.08 into 10 to the power 16 meters. So, we discussed about the large unit of length. We have bigger unit of length called astronomical unit, light year, parsec. And similarly, for tiny units, we have for a tiny measuring units, we have Fermi and angstrom. Size of tiny nucleus is equal to 1 Fermi. 1 Fermi equal 10 to the power minus 15 meters. And similarly, size of a tiny atom is equal to 1 angstrom. 1A, 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meters. See, these three are called bigger unit of length and these two smaller unit of length. Namely Fermi and angstrom. Fermi is equal to 10 to the power minus 15 meters. Angstrom is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meters. Okay students, in this video we discussed what are the fundamental and derived quantities and SI units. 7 basic SI units we saw. So I have given one more time. 7 basic units: meters, kilograms, candela, mole, Kelvin, ampere, and second. So, 7 basic units and 2 more supplementary units we discussed in this video. I'll cover rest of the topics in my next video. Thank you.